Do you ever wonder what events could truly change the entire direction of your life? Picture this. There's a 120-day period coming up, the winter arc for 2026, and it holds the potential to unlock a version of you that you've only dreamed about. Imagine stepping into January 2026 as someone transformed, unstoppable, and ahead of the curve, while everyone else is just scribbling down New Year's resolutions. You're watching the Growth Mindset Project, where we decode massive change into actionable steps, and you're about to discover exactly how the winter arc for 2026 might become the most pivotal chapter of your next decade. Before we dive into the details of this transformative winter arc for 2026, make sure you smash that subscribe button and hit the bell so you never miss the blueprint to your own revolution. We break down every concept, including what's coming and how to get ahead, so don't miss out. Now let's break down why this mysterious 120-day window, the winter arc for 2026, is already generating so much buzz. Every year, millions set big goals, driven by a spike of motivation, especially around New Year's. Sound familiar? Most people ride that high for a couple of weeks. By late January or February, the old routines creep back in. Not only does motivation vanish, but guilt, shame, and frustration settle in. Suddenly, you feel like you're back at square one, and that inner critic's voice starts echoing, "See, you never change." But here's the twist. It isn't your willpower or your desire that's failing you. It's the lack of a real system tailored for the season when change actually incubates. The winter arc for 2026 is your opportunity to break the cycle using a 4-part framework that enables deep, lasting transformation. Imagine this as your pre-season training. By the time the world is waking up to their new resolutions in January, you're months ahead, because you've leveraged the winter arc for 2026 to engineer real habits, real momentum, and real identity shifts. Let's kick off with what you need to do in September, when the winter arc for 2026 unofficially begins. Think of this month as your reset. It's when you step back and ask, what do I actually want for myself? Not what your parents want, not what your teachers want, not what society expects, but what aligns with your deepest drive. Right now, if you took an honest look at your daily routine, how much of it is truly chosen by you? The winter arc for 2026 is about reclaiming agency, owning your narrative, and picking just one central goal to transform your life. Will you focus on making more money, getting fit, producing content, deepening your spirituality? The secret is not to get distracted by trying to chase 5 rabbits at once. The winter arc for 2026 will demand focus, the kind of focus that multiplies your results in ways you can't even imagine yet. Once you clarify your super priority for the winter arc for 2026, you use a simple litmus test. Ask yourself a series of questions about each goal, what you want from it, why it matters, and what success actually looks like for you. This questioning is your defense against regret and drift. It anchors your ambition to your actual values, so you're not just chasing what's trendy or externally validated. During this month, you're laying the foundation for all the change to come. Now, let's talk about what happens next, because dreaming big isn't enough. When October arrives in this 120-day winter arc for 2026, it's time to master your skills. Every single goal, no matter how ambitious, is just a stack of learnable skills. If you want more income, fitness, audience, connection, there's a stack of skills that gets you there. Let's bust a myth right now. No successful person has just one magic talent. They become successful because they stack one skill after another until they become invaluable. The winter arc for 2026 is tailor-made for this process. For instance, if content creation is your path, you need to script, shoot, edit, distribute, and engage. Each skill gives you leverage. Each layer compounds your value. The winter arc for 2026 is the perfect time to identify these skill clusters and start layering them into your daily life. If you're feeling overwhelmed, that's normal. Most of us only see the surface-level outcome, like the viral video, the six-figure launch, the fit physique. But behind every overnight success is a hidden heap of micro skills, acquired deliberately and sequentially. Spend October identifying those mandatory skills for your specific goal during this winter arc for 2026. Write them down, break them down. This is your roadmap. If you're finding this video useful, hit the like button. It helps more people join our community and unlock their own winter arc for 2026. Drop a comment with your chosen path for this pivotal arc. What's your #1 goal you're taking into the winter? Let's push into November, the third phase, and a huge turning point of the winter arc for 2026. This is where execution meets sustainability. The truth is, every ambitious plan gets steamrolled by daily life without systems. Here's how you win. You build micro habits, a series of frictionless daily practices tied to your goal and skill set. Decision fatigue is the #1 enemy here. If every day you have to ask yourself, where do I start? What should I do first? You'll burn out in 2 weeks flat. The key during the winter arc for 2026 is to design daily or weekly habits, block off non-negotiable time, and even gamify progress tracking. If building a social following is your aim, your habits might include filming short clips, experimenting with editing apps, reviewing analytics, and responding to feedback, all in bite-sized sessions. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight during the winter arc for 2026. You need to commit to repeatable actions that compound over time. The power of these micro habits is that, over 120 days, the compound interest of consistency is huge. Small, sustainable steps, tracked on paper or in an app, remove the anxiety and procrastination that have held you back in the past. You might be doubting yourself, but try stacking just 1 or 2 habits every week. Watch how quickly momentum builds and how your identity begins to shift from dreamer to doer as your winter arc for 2026 unfolds. If you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed and have hit the bell so you don't miss out on the next part of this transformation. And don't forget to like and leave a comment with your key habit for this winter arc for 2026. Now it's December, the final stretch of the winter arc for 2026, and this is where you harvest all your progress. Most people rush through December with frantic energy or coast, waiting for New Year's. But in your case, the winter arc for 2026 is about reflection and refinement. This is the month to zoom out. Take a bird's-eye view of your habits, your skill development, and your results, good and bad. Ask, which skills moved the needle? Which daily practices fell flat? The point isn't guilt or self-critique. It's strategic recalibration. Get all those thoughts out of your head. Use a journal, a spreadsheet, or a voice memo. Recognize where you've grown, what surprised you, which areas now feel effortless, and what actually needs a pivot. Sometimes, what felt like small wins on a daily basis add up to an enormous breakthrough. The winter arc for 2026 isn't just a sprint to the next year. It's the transformation of your mindset, your systems, and your self-confidence, before the world even starts their resolutions. If you've made it this far, you're already ahead of 99% of people. The old you would have been caught in a cycle of making vague promises, slipping back into old routines, and starting over each January. The winter arc for 2026 breaks that loop. As this window closes, you're stepping into 2026 with the skills, systems, and identity to not just set goals, but to crush them, build on them, and become the kind of person who changes everything. This isn't hype. This is the real secret behind massive change. If you found this video helpful, check out our other content for next-level strategies on building the life you've always wanted. And if you haven't already, subscribe, tap that bell, and keep showing up. Your winter arc for 2026 starts now.